See, the last session of the 5-day national level FTP will be, the last session will be started in a while. I welcome all the participants for this session. At the end of the session, we will going to provide you the feedback link. All of you, please, fill the feedback and send it. And I, welcome Madhu and Kiran for the last session of this FTP. I request, both the speakers to please take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let us start today's session with an application which we have the SMS receiver, right? So what is the number of that application in that PDF? Give me a moment. I'll be sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So before starting today's session, let me like I have worked on this and I'll be explaining this one. I will be doing together with throughout the session, but let me run this application and let me show what the result should look like after
Madhu,
running this.
Madhu,
Yes,
can you just increase the font?
yes, I'll do that. Give me a second. Is this okay? This size?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let me run this application, then I'll start with the coding so that you will get a clarity. So how our results should look like. Okay, this is our AVD. Okay, I'm getting some issue with this virtual device. Let me restart this and okay, let us proceed with the coding and I'll let you know once it is done. This is going to take time, the virtual device. Let us create an activity with a project with an empty activity. for now, and I'll name it as SMS receiver example. Okay, let me finish this. So the Gradle build is running. Let it run. Okay, I think we are ready to go now. So as per the requirements, so let us design our layout first. In our main activity, XML file, we are going to design our simple layout field. So in this, we don't need anything except the from a text view field and the message body text view field, right? So we just want to show the message and the phone number or the who has sent that message that should be displayed on our activity. So that is what we are going to do now. And so as this is a simple layout screen, I will be taking a linear layout field, and I don't want these constraints for now, and I just wanted to say it as SMS, no, not here, here. I just want to say it as SMS receiver activity, right? So I'll place this in the center. I'll give gravity as a center, the layout gravity. So this is going to come down because we haven't mentioned the orientation. So this should be a vertical orientation I need. And I give some size to this one. Text size. I want some 25 sp or 30. Okay. So after this, I want extra 2 text view fields so that we can put our text, our informations like phone number and the message body into this text views. I want one text view and another text view. I don't want the text size to be 30 for this. I just want it 20. So this will be our phone number. So I'll be giving text as phone number, right? Then I want this to be message, right? We are showing message which is received from the sender. So this is what we wanted, and I'll give some margins to this. Not this. Let me give some 10 dp of margin around it, and I want some margin of 30 dp here, not sp, this is dp. And again here dp. Okay, so this looks good for us now. Width, I'll make it as wrap content, not wrap content, it should be match parent. Okay, okay, let it be. So this looks good now. So after this we can move with our main programming part. Okay, so here we are creating two classes. Like one is a main activity, so this will be the default one, and we want another class for the SMS to receive the SMS. So I'll be creating that one as well, and we need an mm, interface as well for this one. Let me continue with this one. So I'll just mention ID for these two text views. ID as this is message, right? So I'll keep it as message, and for this I'll keep it as phone. Phone. Okay. In main activity, so we are defining those text views first. Text view, text view message and phone. So these two we are defining here, and we are referring into our layout views with the message is equal to find view by id dot id dot. So what we have to give here is a message, right? I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it here. This looks good. Then come to the phone. It's equal to find view by id, which is r dot id dot phone. Yeah. Let me check. This is referring to the right layout. Yes. Okay. After this, I want to implement the message listener as well for this one. Let me add that as well. So as I said, we wanted a interface. So I'm creating an interface first. So you can directly click here by clicking a new. Give me a second. Okay, let me continue with this one. Then I'll create a interface. Okay, as I said, to receive SMS, we need a class called, I'll say it as receive SMS class. Okay, in this class, we are going to write our logic and we are going to call a service from the uh, service providers. So SMS is a SMS. We have service providers to receive an SMS as well. So I extend this to a broadcast receiver. So broadcast receiver is an service provider. Broadcast receiver. So for this one, we need to implement methods. So I'll just click here and implement on receive methods. So on receive of the SMS, so what we wanted to do, that logic we are going to write inside this on receive method. Okay. So let me create a listener for this one. Whenever we receive a message, we have a message listener. So that is going to trigger whenever someone sends us the message. So private static message listener is a inbuilt listener for us. Message on name message listener. Don't want this one. Okay, message listener is an interface actually. Listener. This
Uh, yeah, hello. Welcome.
yes, yes.
I am getting error for line number 7. What is the API version you're using?
Uh,
And how can I change it now?
uh, if you want to change it now, you will have to go for I don't remember exactly, but we can change. But that is going to take time, or else you can create a new project with the API level by giving in the starting only.
Which one you selected?
Uh, I don't remember. Like from 18, I think API minimum level is 18. STK is
Can it
24,
be
I think.
like yesterday what you had selected? Same thing?
Yeah, the same thing. The
Okay.
API level is 18, which
Okay.
I'm using.
Okay, then let me do it.
Okay. Yes, yes. Yes. Let me create this message listener afterwards. So we'll proceed with this class first. Then we go to that. Okay. On receive, as I told, whatever the logic we wanted to use on receive of the SMS, we are going to write it inside here. So first, I wanted to take a intent. I think okay. Let me create that. Let me add a logic here. Intent dot get action equals Android right dot provider dot telephony dot SMS underscore received. Okay. So what we are doing here is we are calling the service, as I told. This is an Android service provider which provides the telephony, like mobile SMS received service. So this is going to trigger our receive SMS class whenever we receive this SMS with this service provider. We have different service providers which gives not only this one. This is just for SMS. We have service provider for uh, phone calls as well, or else like camera access, file access. Like, we have a lot of service providers in this one. So I'll create a bundle for this bundle, and I'll create a bundle object which takes the get extras from intent dot get extras. So whatever we are going to store uh, here in the intent, so that we are putting into the bundle. So this is nothing but for this intent we are taking the message received, and we are putting it into the intent, and we are putting that intent, the data get extras is data from that intent to this bundle. Next, let me create an SMS message array list. Let me call it as SMS message, which is array type z. The name which I want to give is SGS. These are messages, right? So again, I wanted to create a string for the message, like the phone number or the from whom it was sent. So let me call it as message from. Okay, message from. So this is the message we are going to put into this message, SMS message, and this is the phone number we are putting in. This is a type of string, and this is type of message. We are giving a we are checking for a condition if the bundle is empty or not. First, the bundle is empty or not, we'll check and we'll proceed with this one. If it is not null, means we are coming inside this if condition. In this if condition, we need to handle exception. So I'm writing inside a try block. We need to have catch as well. Okay. Okay. Catch. Let me write it afterwards. So we are again creating the object here, which is a array object, and we'll give it as we will give this name as new object, new obj. Okay. So this we are taking the data from the bundle and putting it into this new object now, right? So new object is equal to, which is a object type, the type, this is type of object, Then we want bundle to get the data. Get of new. Let me call it as new obj. Okay. So we are creating an object and we are passing the bundle data. Then we will work with messages, messages, right? Messages is a type of new SMS message. SMS message array which contains the new object dot length. Okay. So after these messages, we are putting a for loop for int I is equal to 0. I is less than the message dot length. We have a specified length here, so we can directly take it as messages dot length. Messages dot length. Okay. Till here we are looping. Then we are incrementing this as well. I plus plus. Okay. Inside this for loop, we are putting all the byte by byte values to this array. Messages of I is starting from 0. From 0th value, it is going to take all the messages received. SMS message dot create from PDU, which is byte by byte we wanted. So let me add byte by from new object.
What is this PDU, Madhu?
Sorry.
What is PDU? Create from PDU. What is it exactly?
Create PDU is this is the service given by SMS message. So from SMS message, so the complete message which is received is it is going to come in this messages, SMS messages, right? So from that, we are creating an object message of I, and we are putting a byte by byte data. To put this one, we need this method, create from PDU. So using this method, inside we are having a parameters, right? So this is just a byte type I am defining. So the new object is the array list where we are going to store a byte by byte data. To do that operation, we have this method, create from PDU. You can check with control and you can click on this one. You'll get the complete class of that one where they have used. Can you see here? Create PDU is just a method which is defined by Android framework itself. And inside this, we have this one, right? A single parameter we have, which is a type of byte, right? The PDU is just a name which they have given, which the Android people were given, right? So with this one, yeah, using this method, we are putting our values byte by byte. Okay. So object of I we want. So every single byte by byte value we are storing into this array. Okay. So that is what we are doing here. Then we can have message from msg from is equal to msg, yes, messages of I dot get originating address. We have this method originating address here. So this gives us the phone number of a person. So I'll be creating a string now inside this. I'll call it as msg body is equal to msgs messages of I dot get message body. Get message body, we have method. So I'm creating a string here, and whatever the values coming from this byte by byte value which is stored here in messages, so I'm storing that in a string value so that I can fetch easily in my main class or in the layout. So let me add a toast message here so that I can get to know whether it's working good for me or not. Toast dot make text of as this is a class, I'm using context. As I yesterday said, we can't use this or get application context in this class. You can use that only in activity. So context, let me add a string and I'll check whether it is coming or not from. So I'm appending here the message from. Message from means the sender, plus I wanted message body as well. I want to get message body as well. So I'll call it as body or message body. Message body is equal to. So I want to append the message body. So which is my message body here. This one I can take msg body message body dot. Okay, is enough. So I'll give a length for the toast. I want a long toast for this one. Dot show. Okay. So this we have done for now. This class has been done, and we can have now. We can set the notification. We have to set the notification now, right? After this for loop, we will set a notification for our message. Let me add a notification object named, I'll call it as noti is equal to the new object of notification. Give me a second. I want the builder as well for this. Builder. Inside this, we can pass context. Okay. So let me close this. What is the error it is showing? Change new notification builder to new notification. I think I need to assign that context here. Context type, context. Okay, I no need to pass anything. So I want to set this. I don't want to close. Dot set content title. Give me a second. Don't want this. Context dot. Okay. We'll be setting the title for this notification. Set. Oh, where is that set title? Set context title it is. Okay. Here we have set context title. Inside this, we are setting new SMS. This is enough for now. Then we are setting some body. Set context, set content body. I want content text. Yes. For this one, we are setting our message inside this, or not message. Message. That is that message body. Yeah, message body I want. I have to write it before give me a second. Let me check. Check.
Sir, I think you have to declare it outside the for loop right now.
Yes, yes. I can declare outside or else. Okay, let me declare this outside only. No problem. No need to assign as well. Message body dot give me a second. Assign this. Message body. Initialize. Where it is asking. Okay. SMS body. Next, I think we can build this notification. No need to give anything extra. So in catch, we can modify this from dot modify method. We'll give an exception here. Dot print stack trace. So we can give a log here. Let me show you that as well. Because if this is not going to work, our try block will get an exception. But we want, even though if we have handled that exception, but we wanted to know where our program is getting failed, so that we are giving log here. So we can give something exception, comma dot get message. So we'll get the message why it has failed, for the, or what is the exception if we give log. Okay. So this looks good. Our class. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'll be back in. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Is my screen visible?
No,
No,
Madhu.
Madhu, it's not visible.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yeah, now it's visible, Madhu.
Okay. Fine. So as I said, we need to create an interface for message listener now, and we'll create just a second. Oh, we can right click here and we can create interface. We have to select here interface. So interface name, what we have given is uh, message listener, right? I'll copy this one and I'll create an interface with that name. Click enter. You will be having a interface now. So here you no need to do anything. Just create two methods, which is void message received which is a type of string we are passing, and we'll call it as message. Okay, so we wanted two methods here. One is for message body and one is for, another one is for phone number. So let me change this name to message 2. Message received 1 and message received 2. Second one is a body and first one is phone number. Okay. So you can see now we don't have any errors showing right now, right? Yeah, we haven't used this listener yet, right? The M listener. So give me a moment. We'll go to this main activity now, and we'll create an object of that interface. And this should implement the interface which we have created. Oops. Message listener interface. So for this we need to implement those methods which are available here, which we have created. So I'll implement those two methods. We got these two methods now. Okay, so after this one, we'll call that receive SMS dot bind listener. So we have to create object of that as well. Receive SMS, call it as receive SMS is equal to new receive SMS. I have created an object of type receive SMS, and I'm calling here. Give me a second. Something. I want bind listener. It is not showing me. Okay. On bind listener. Where is that? Okay, let me create a method inside this one. So I have created a listener for that. So I'll just M listener is equal to, I'll say it as smash. Okay, yeah, this looks good. M listener, message listener. Listener type, listener, that's M listener. Okay, from here, this main activity, we are getting this bind listener. Let me add a condition now to check the version of our SDK. Build version, build dot version dot SDK int is greater than or equal to build dot version codes dot lollipop, and also we are checking check self permission if the permission is given or not. Check self permission. We are checking this permission from the manifest file, right? Okay, we need to have this manifest. We need to check here in inside the manifest file, the permission is receive a SMS. So this permission is there or not? We need to check that one. If this and this is not equal to package manager dot permission granted package manager is permission granted. So we are checking that in the package manager. We are comparing the build version and the manifest permission in the package manager. So we are comparing this one. If that is given, will come inside. If that is not equal to package manager, so that is not given means we are coming inside and we request permissions. If not given, we request permission. Let me call this string. The type of array which is called manifest file dot permission dot receive SMS. So we are requesting the permission from manifest file. This is the parameters required. Okay, this is what we are comparing now. Receive SMS. We need to close here. SMS. Okay, not this one. Manifest. Okay, some bracket issue, I think. What happened? This manifest should be in flower bracket, not in this one. Okay. So we'll move ahead with overriding this one where we'll override a method again and we'll create another method with named on permissions result if the permission is given or if it is not given, so what we need to do, so that is what we are doing right now. On request on request permission on request permissions result, so what may be the result, we need to handle that one. We'll passing the parameters inside this one. First is our request code. First parameter is request code. Whatever we'll receive, like if the app asks for a permission, we can allow or we can deny, right? So we need to handle those two actions. If handled, what we need to do, and if not allowed, what we need to do. So that is what we have to do here. So request code comma, this is a type of not null nominal string we want, which is a type of array. This is permissions. I'll call it as permissions. Okay. Permissions, comma, the third parameter is we have integer grant result. This is also known now. This is a type of int, and can say grant result. So inside this method, we're writing what to do when the request on the request permission result. So what we have to do is, if we'll put a condition, if the request code is equal to 1000. Let me tell you what this means. Okay, this number is 1000. If this result code is 1000, which is a request code, and we are putting another condition for checking the grant result of 0, like this is array, right? So the first one we are checking the grant result 0 is equal to package manager dot permissions granted. If that is granted, means we are going inside this condition. What happened here? Grant result. No issues with that. Let me continue and we'll check what is that. Okay, if this means we are putting a toast message saying permission is granted, right? I'll copy that toast message that we have used. So context is not going to work here. I'll give this comma. I don't want all this. I just say the permissions granted. Granted. I just make a toast message. So if this is the condition, we are doing this thing, or else we have to put a toast saying please grant the permissions. Please grant permission. If permission is not given, we are doing this thing. This is a int of array type, so we are getting that error. Okay. So this we handled when on permission result, if the code is 1000 means if they are going to grant, it is successful. If they grant, and that is then and the second condition we are checking is the package manager grant permission. So this is the permission for grant, right? So we are checking grant result code is matches to this package manager permission granted. We are making this toast, or else this one. Sure. And that is enough for now. We'll see what else is remaining. Okay, this is done. So next, here we come into this method inside this one. So we are doing nothing here. This methods are implemented by our interface class. So we just need to set on message received. So if the message is received, this is the method, right? So if we go here, what is this? This one, we are taking the message from this string. So we are setting this message. Give me a moment. We'll just set inside. If this comes inside, if this calls this method, we are setting our message to our message layout, which is a text view. So we are setting our messages to this text view. So what is that? This one, right? Message. I'll copy this one. For this text view, I want to set text of what is there here. So this is the message which we wanted to set. I'll put it here. Okay. So this is what we wanted to do. There's nothing else to do, and everything is handled by here in receive SMS class and the interface. So these two are going to handle everything. We just need to set our message or the phone number to this text view. Phone.setText of message 2. Okay, these two are now set. What is the error we have? So let me check what it is overriding. Just give me a second. We are creating the string of message 2. Okay, on receive, we are creating a method in receive SMS. Okay, so we are creating now the receive on receive method is there. Inside this one, okay, before here we will create a string with named message and message 1, which we are using in our interface. Okay, this is a type of string. I call it as message is equal to message from, and I'll create another string with message 2, and I'll assign this message body. So now we have created the strings here, message and message 2. So we want to pass the value which is coming in this on receive method. We want to pass these two values to this interface. So we have created two strings, and to pass that to this interface, we have created an object of that class, right, of that interface. So we will use this one, this mListener, which is referring to the message listener interface. We are taking that dot message received is a method of in this one, this is the object, right, of this. So here we have two methods. So we are setting a string message for this one and for this one as well. So we will set first one as a message, and I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. Then I'll just say this is not message received, this is message received 2, the second method which we have in our interface. So I'll set it to message 2. So we have successfully passed our message and the phone number from our SMS receive SMS class to our message listener interface. So from this interface, we are implementing here in our main class. We are implementing that message listener, right? After implementing, we can use whatever the methods inside our interface. So we have implemented this one, and we can use these two methods now. Okay, before it was coming some. Okay, it was referring to these methods, right? From here. Okay, so we are setting text now. So everything we have done, I think. Yes, we are good to go now. We can run our program, but let me check what happened here. Okay. Okay. So we have created our receive SMS class and interface and our main activity. We are now doing much here, and we have created our design. So let me run that now. Let me run our application. Oh, before that, I wanted to check my AVD is started or not. I'll reshare my screen so that you can see my AVD. My AVD is not yet started actually. Okay, let me close this and I'll restart my virtual device. The virtual device is going to consume a lot of space, so it is very much slow. This I don't want. I'm not using this one. I'll remove this. Let me restart this. So here you can, if you have a good RAM in your laptop, you can have any number of AVDs here. You can create a new virtual device with any Android versions. Sorry guys, this is taking a bit longer.
Madhu,
Madhu,
I
is it
think
possible to?
you can explain the next program. I think how much time has been given to you till 12:30?
Yes, yes,
What?
12:30.
How many
12:30.
more programs you'll explain within that period?
Oh, I think I don't have so much of time. So I'm from now onwards, I'm not going to write the whole code. You know, right? You people got it how to write, how to like start from the beginning and the step by step things. So I have a ready program which I have programmed yesterday in the evening. So I'll open that one and I'm going to explain you each and every component so that it will not take much time. So and I can explain you two more programs. Or else if you want me to do like from the beginning, I can do, but it is going to take time, and one program I can able to finish it off.
Okay, participants, please reply on your chat, or you can turn on mic and you can tell which option is better for you.
Yes, you can reply in chat, no problem.
Madhu,
Yes,
I think one database program has to be
yes,
there.
yes, that, yeah.
You go with that one, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'll be starting that one. Even that is also taking a lot of time. That will
Can
also.
you run this program? I mean, to run this program, this one on your mobile device?
Yes, yes, I can run, and let me share my screen from my mobile so that
Yeah, you just
yeah.
share from your mobile device and you run it. Rather
Yes,
than running on the emulator, it's taking time.
yes.
So you run it on your device.
Okay. Let me check so that I can share my screen on mobile or not.
Okay. Okay.
Or else, do I need any application, Google Meet for that?
Okay. Or else you go with the database program now.
Okay.
Then the end you can come back to this
Okay,
chat.
I'll compile both the programs at the end,
Yeah,
right?
surely. Yeah. Kindly go with
Okay,
the database
fine.
program.
I'll go the next. Okay, okay, fine. So I'm going to explain, right? Or do you want me to start from start over from the beginning? If I
Hello.
explain also, it will take some time.
Madhu,
Hello.
just check the chat box. Sir has some participant has replied. Just check that. Go
Okay,
with that option.
okay. Explanation of components and show the execution. Okay, okay. Okay, we can do that. No problem, not an issue.
Sir, from my suggestion, you can share the code and we can run in
Yeah,
parallel so
yeah.
that we can understand the components as well as we can get the output here from our side.
Uh, okay. That can
Otherwise,
be possible.
yeah, otherwise we will get an error and some other point of time when we execute
Got
that one, yeah, that will be.
got it, got it. I'll be sharing the code with you, and please go along with me, and we can. I'll explain, and finally we'll run our application, right? Um, so I will open. Let me check this is the right code or not. I think that is not the one. Is the SMS one? Okay, SQLite. So the database part, what we have. Okay, give me a second. Okay, the first one, right? In the first and the second one, we are doing almost the same thing. Let me explain that one first. The first one, what is the program? The program says write a program to enter medicine name, date, and time of the day as an input from the user, right? From input from the user, you need to take all three inputs: medicine name, date, and time, and you need to store those information into the SQLite database. So before that, SQLite database is nothing but database. It is actually a database which will be stored in your application, in your mobile device. That is not a remote database, or there is no separate database application or something is there. There is nothing. This, give me a second. So yeah, inside your mobile, it is going to create a database, which is a light version of SQL uh, database, and that is handled. Everything is handled by our Android framework. So you got it right. If we want to store some data inside our application, we are going to use that SQLite database. So you can have. I think you may have seen some. Every application is going to create a folder in your in your mobile app, in your mobile, inside file manager. If you go and see in Android data, there will be some files created by each and every application which are installed on your devices. So that is nothing but the space which is used by the application to store the data which you are using. Okay, and the data which we are adding from our backend, or from the coding part, that is going to store in your application. It is going to store as a application size, not as a database, and the data which you are using for yourself, that is going to store into the SQLite database. So first one, as they said, medicine database. There is nothing you need to uh, like the final result. What they wanted is they just wanted you to take some input from the user and just to store it inside the SQLite database, and they just wanted to retrieve back the data, right? So that is the main concept in first one, and the second one is the same thing. They wanted to take the data here. What we have given is in the medicine database, there we are taking directly from the user inputs like text, date, and time of the day. And but here in meeting scheduler, they wanted us to take that those inputs from the uh, calendar and the time. We have two components for that. So that is what the difference between first and two. I'll explain those components, and I'll explain the database part in a general way, not with respect to these requirements. Those are not what I'm going to explain. That is not exactly matching these requirements, but that is a specific to this one. I'm going to store some data and going to retrieve some data using the SQLite database. So as you can see my screen, you're able to see, right? Can you see my screen?
No, Madhu?
Yes,
No, it's not visible.
it's not visible. Okay, let me share again.
It is visible
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
No, now it is.
Okay, it is visible, right? Okay. So As you can see, for the database is a main component, and we are using in almost all the application which consists of full functionality, right? So you can see here the classes which I have created is, first one is DB helper, display contract, and main activity, which is by default. And in drawable there's nothing, and in layouts we have two XML layouts. I'll explain that. And we have menu items as well, two menu items, and we have some string defined inside our string class, right? So shall I share this code? How can I share this one? In which way you wanted me to share? Can anyone reply? How can I share this one?
You want to share?
Yeah, I wanted to share this. I wanted to share file by file. I'll share first file, second, and third. Like this, I wanted to share. Or else, if I share completely, you may have difficulties in installing my project into your environment, right? So I wanted you to create a new project and create every new classes here, and I wanted to paste this code which I have given into your class or activity.
You do one thing. You explain this program. You create this program and you explain how it is going to. And then the second program is there, right?
Yes.
You just show the code, you explain it and share the code. This program, as this is a database program,
Yes.
you start from the beginning.
Yeah, I will start from the beginning.
Okay.
But they wanted the code, right? This one.
Okay. You share it through you put it in a Word file and you share that one. You want to share individually, right?
Yes, individual files.
Yeah, you put this file code into Word document.
Okay.
Name it whatever the name you have given to this particular.
Yes.
You name that one and you share in this one in the chat box.
In the chat box, can I share here?
Yeah.
In chat box. I don't think so. Here I'm not getting any option to share file. Okay, let me try once.
Okay.
I'll be taking from the class, the main class name. After that, you will face a error saying that this class is not imported, like that. So let me tell one thing. DB helper, right? Okay. If I am not imported this one, I'll get an error somewhere here. See, list view is not imported. So you just click on this one and press Alt plus Enter. Okay, so this will be imported automatically. Like that, you have to do for all the components which are going to show you a error. I'll be sharing the main class itself, and I'm not sharing imports because imports is different from one version of Android Studio to another. If I share that also, you will definitely get error. Pasted this one, and I want to save as documents, new folder .txt. Okay, is this main activity.txt? Save. folder in activity.txt. No, I cannot share that in the chat box.
Yeah, I guess in this chat box there is no option of sharing.
Yes, yes.
Um, can
Let
do
me
one.
do one thing. Let me do one.
Any
No, no.
faculty? Yeah.
Let me do one thing. I'll create a drive folder
Okay.
and I will share that link.
Okay.
You can access.
Yeah, you're going to share the link, right?
Yes, yes, I'll share right now.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the folder in this link. Just click on this link and you'll get that folder. And I'll be adding all the folders right now. Just give me some minutes.
And also you mentioned that what is that file will do?
Yes, I'll be adding the name for that file. Is that okay, right? I have added the
So
file
main
name. Main
activity.txt.
activity.
What it does? You just
Yes, I'll
execute it.
explain that one.
Okay.
I'll tell which and all files should be added in which path. Okay, I have added all the files required for this application. Everyone can able to access that, right? The link. Shall I start with this? Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yes, we can start with it.
Okay, I'll start with this.
ಮಧು
Yes.
ಮಧು ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿ.
Okay.
ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಿರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ
Okay. Okay.
ಓಕೆ. ಇದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay. Okay.
ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಶೇರ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Okay, fine. So I'll be starting a new project for SQL SQLite application. With an empty activity, and I'll rename it as SQLite underscore new. Okay. See, the minimum SDK which I am using is 18, which is from Android 4.3, which is a Jelly Bean. Above that version, my app is going to work perfectly. So I'll click on finish. Okay. Give me a second. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just 2 minutes. Hello, I'll share my screen. Okay. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So let me start with the layout as always. So let us design our layout first. So here, let it be relative layout now, and so this one, the first one, I'll call it as a database. Database. So our project is database, right? So these constraints are not required, but in relative layout, we need to give constraints or else it is going to show as a error. So I'll give align parent layout. Give me a second. So as we are not using so many components in this main layout, we are using only a text view and a list view. List view to show our data which is coming from our database. So we don't need this constraint or relative layout. We can have relative layout, but I'll use linear layout for now. Vertical. Gravity will be center. So I'll give this text size of some 30 sp. Let it be. Then I'll put a scroll view so that I can scroll the datas which are coming from the database. Here, here. Inside scroll view, I am putting a list view. Scroll view of match parent and the width will be match parent and this will be wrap content. Okay. Inside this scroll view, I'm going to put a list view. Which is of width is match parent and height is wrap content. And this is enough for us now. So you can see item which comes from database. This will show like this. This is for a single item, and we, as per the records, this is going to increase the number of records or the number of views in the layout. I'll call it as list view. Okay, let it be. I have given the ID and I have created a simple UI for our main activity layout. Okay, so coming to this, I'm creating an object of that list view. I'll make it as private list view. I'll say it as object. So this is the only object we have from our layout. So I'll call it as object, and I'll create a string. So which is, so I'll create it afterwards. No need. So I'll create another class called DB helper. Which is going to perform our DB operations, database operations. So I'll create a class called DB helper. Inside this, I want to create a DB helper. I want to override one method. I'll just create public DB helper. DB helper. I'll pass context into this. Context type context. Let it be. I'll check with that. This is super. Context, comma. We want to create a database name string inside this one. This should extend SQLite open helper, DB helper. It is extending SQLite open helper. Now we can implement the methods. We can implement on create of DB and on update of that DB. We got two methods now, and I wanted a string for a database name. Right? We need to, if we want to create a database, we should have provided a name for that. So I'll make it as public static string, public static final string is equal to string. I type is database name is equal to, so we can give the database name whatever we want inside this one. I'll say my DB name dot DB. So as this is a DB, it should be in dot DB format. So I will be passing that database name into this. Then the second parameter I'll pass it as null. The third one, I think. Okay. Then the last is a version. I'll put it as 1. why we have. We will check this afterwards. What happened? Error will move ahead, and we have a method which is implemented from SQLite Open Helper, which is on create. So on create of this, I'll execute that one. DB create of this. I will call it as DB dot execute SQL. So we are going to write our query inside this to execute. After the creation of DB, we are going to execute this query. What and all we need in that, like to create a table inside the database. We are going to execute this one. I'll say this is a query writing. I'm writing the query. Then I'll say it as a contacts. So this is the table name which I gave, and we are appending now the column names which we wanted to add it into the table. So the first column, I'll say it as a ID for a contact, I'll say, and it is a type of integer, and this is my primary key for that column, for this table. I just have to mention primary key here. Okay. So the first column is of ID, which is type of integer, and this is my primary key. And the second column I want name column of the contact, and this is a type of text, right? Then I wanted some third column. Email is of text, and also I want maybe address, we can say. We can have address as well, and place something like that. So which is all are the type of text only. I can say it as a street, which is of text. Okay. This is of text, comma, place again. Text is also type of text. Okay. So this is the query which we are going to execute on creation of the SQLite database. So after creating this, we are going to execute this one. So we have on upgrade method. On upgrade of this DB, I'll say it as a older version, and I'll call this as a new version. So on upgrade of that, what we want to do with our table, again this query will be executed. Drop table if exists. If that table is exists, means we are going to drop before creating, or if we want to update. Contacts is our table name, right? So if this table is already exists means in our database, this is going to drop that table and we are going to create freshly our new table. After dropping this one, this again we can call this method. After dropping this, it is automatically going to create one another table. So again, this is going to call this method. So as we are going to insert our contacts into the database, we'll be defining those details of each contact. Insert contact. Insert contact is a method which I gave, and first one is a string. The name is of type string, and the second one is the phone number. Again, I'm taking this in a string format, and the third one is a email and street string email string street string place. So these are the parameters which we are using to insert into a DB, into our DB, right? So we'll create the object of that SQLite database inside here. We'll call it again it as a DB, and this dot get writable database. We are going to write into database, so we are using this method. You can check each and every inbuilt method what they are doing by clicking press control and click on this one, or any other inbuilt methods. You can go to that method what they are having and what it is doing. You can understand deeply there. Okay. So I want to add values, right? So I'll create a content value object. Then content values, type content values. New content values. So for this content values, I am putting all my all the details which I am taking from the user. Content values dot put name. For this name, I am putting my name. So like this, I have to put all the parameters which I am passing here. These all types of string. I'll say it as phone. I want phone and email and street and place, right? So I don't want this one. Now I'll say db dot insert all these values to the table. What we have table name contacts, and null columns not be considered. Then content values. So this content values we are going to insert into this DB. We can return true for this. Okay. So this method is done. Insert contact method is done. Now we want to get the data from the DB, right? So I'll create another method to get the data. Public is a type of cursor get data. Want only one parameter, which is int. So IDs are primary key, as we have defined our ID as a primary key here. So we can refer all the data using this ID. So public cursor, we will create another SQL database object. Again, I'll call it as a DB is equal to this dot get readable. So we used that method get writable method, and we are using now to read the data get readable method from the database. So I'll create a integer type one variable. So this is going to take the number of rows from the database, like the table. This is type of integer. Database utilities we have. So from this, query the number of entries. So this method is giving us the number of entries in that database. I'll just say this as contact. Okay, for this we want to create a contacts table name variable here. Here, as I have created database name, like that only we want column like a table name contacts underscore table name, I'll say, and this is our contacts, right? This is what we have given in while creating our database. Okay, this is what we are using here, context table name. Okay, then we are returning the row numbers from this method. So till here it is done, right? What happened here? Okay, so till that it is we are putting the inserting the data and we are getting the data from the database. So we want to update the data as well, right? We can have another method for updating our contacts, which is again type of boolean. I say update contact. Inside this, I have the same number of parameters. So I'll just copy this one and I paste it here. Right. Okay. I have created this update contact method, and we are again creating the SQL database and the content values. So I'll just copy from the above method and I'll paste it here. So I'll take it as update means again we have to put the values, right? Same values. So the same things we are using for update as well. We are putting all the values with reference to that ID. We are overwriting whatever the data present in that database. So here we are writing the query, the main query for update. So I'll say db dot update. We have method for that. And we can tell the table name, contacts. You should be careful about these things, like while typing this table name, if you have missed a single character also, uh, that is not going to refer your actual table. So content values, I'm updating all the content values in these tables. Content values means here whatever I'm taking, this is the content value I'm referring here. So content values I'm updating into the context table with ID where clause. This is a where clause. If you are aware of the SQL queries and the uh, database things, you'll get to know uh, how these where clause and the query works. So that the same thing here also, but because of the inbuilt methods update, so everything is handled by the framework. So we just need to mention the condition where ID is equal to, is going to read that ID. Just put a question mark. Comma, we we can new string is a type of integer dot toString. I'm converting this to string now. What? ID. ID, right? Let me add semicolon. And why this ID is giving me an error? Let me check. Okay, here the first parameter I need to pass a integer of ID. So we can return the value for this method now. Okay, we have successfully written the method of updating our data into the database. So we have another method, like what if we want to delete something from the database, right? So we are writing a method for that as well, and we have a inbuilt method called, you can see here update is there, right? Like that we have delete as well. So I'll be writing this method. It is a type of integer. I can say it as delete contact. Delete contact of only one parameter I want is type ID. Referring that ID, I will be deleting all the data with respect to that ID. Okay. So again, I want to create a
Madhu,
database.
one question is there in chat box. You can just answer to that.
Give me a second. Please let me know if someone have a question while I was doing. I couldn't see that. Suppose we want to update only email of the person. In that case, other values are supposed to be unchanged. Will the update contact function retain the old data or overwrite the old data? Okay, let me tell you that one. So you can see here, right? If you want to update a particular data means with respect to ID, we are updating everything, right? So this is not a inbuilt method, only update a query which we are returning inside. So this is the inbuilt method. So this is a method which is written by us. So the parameter names you can directly change here. If you want to update only email address means you can remove all these things. All these things you can directly remove, and these also you can directly remove and have only email. Okay, so that you can remove all the contents as well, these content, these stuffs and all you can okay. After that let me explain it that. Okay, you can see what it is updating now as per our logic. You can see update contact is there. If I call update contacts, if I call this somewhere in my main activity button, means if I click that, this method should call. If I call this one, integer ID is there and string email is there only. For this particular, if I have my contact is a one, like I have contact number ID as one. So for that ID, for that contact which have the ID of one, the string email, only one parameter you are passing, right? One parameter you are passing means in this content values you are putting only email you are putting into this one. So this content value we are passing here, right? So update only take that contacts only content values which are present in this content values, the values which are present only in content values, so that it is going to update that particular column which have the particular ID, for that particular ID. Okay, you can customize here our method as per our requirements. So as per that is going to take long, like I have only the update method for all the contacts, right? So for this one, for individual things, we have to give some more time for that. So as we are not doing that one, we can have
Or,
this for right now.
or can we check whether some string is given or not, or if it is null, and then based on that, can we update? Like
Yes,
for
yes.
example,
What?
in the
Yeah.
function, we are updating all the columns here. Suppose if email is not present, then it will be null.
Okay.
So in that case, we can check whether email is null or not, and based on that, we can prevent that from updated to the database. Can we do
Yes,
that?
yes, we can
Okay.
do that as well. Like as I said, there is nothing called impossible in this Android thing. Okay,
Okay.
everything we can do, but we need just patience and we need time for that one. Okay, you can directly put condition inside here as well, or else while taking the update statement,
Okay.
like I have only this design as per now. So forward I'm going to uh, uh, create another design for updating and inserting contact. Okay, on that page only you can directly here set that button as not null, so that
Okay.
if that is not null means user cannot click the
Oh,
button, update
okay.
button.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you.
If you can also give your logic here. Any logic is fine, but for now we are proceeding with this.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, where we have stopped, we are in this delete contact, right? Yeah, if you want to delete a contact, again we need a object of SQLite DB and get writable only. This is because we are writing into that. We'll directly return db dot delete method. Inside that, the table name, which is our contacts, and comma. As I said, we need a condition for, and that condition is our ID. Okay. Now the next and the last parameter is, you can also see here the suggestion. The first one, first parameter is a table, and second is a where clause, and third one is a arguments, the string. So like that, we need to pass that as well. I'm creating a new string for that string argument, which is a type of array, and inside this, I'll make it integer dot to string of ID. Okay. Yeah. So now our delete method looks good. Now we want another method, which is a type of array list, and this is the string type array list, and I'll call this method as get all contacts. So whenever we update a contact, so we want all the updated contacts on our screen, right? All the updated data. If I insert another data into the database, so in the table it will be updated, but on my screen I want to show that, right? So I am creating this method. I am calling it in my main activity. So I'll create an object of array list, which is type string, and I'll call it as array list. Is equal to new array list. Okay. I'll close this one. This is a type of string we'll mention. Okay. Okay, again, we need a SQLite database called as DB. This dot get readable. So we are reading the data when the contact is updated every time. I'll say it as cursor. I'll say it as result db dot raw query. Inside this, I'm writing query. Select everything. Select star from contacts. So this is my query. Comma. Selection argument, I'll give it as null. Okay. So result dot move to first. So this is going to move the data to the first place in our view while the update is happen. Okay, result dot move first. I'll put another while loop where result dot is affected last is equal to false. Come inside and I'll say array list dot add of result dot get string of result dot get column index of. So now I want another string named as context column name. I'll just define it in global. Define this as a global variable. I'll say it as name. This is not our table name. This is contacts score column underscore name. Right. So this we are going to use here. Context column name. Okay. So we have done with this, and we'll say result dot move next. So we'll return the value array list here. So this completes our database helper class, which we are going to do all the database operations from this class. Okay, as you can see, the most of our database operations which is required for this project is we are doing in this class, right? So give me a second. Okay, so let me check what happened here. Public class db helper. Okay, this is because of our another class where we have created. Okay, so this is the DB operations. This is going to be fine in the next class where we will be creating a new Java class named display contact, right? So did you guys get it? What I has done in this class in DB helper? So I can move. I can proceed, right? With this class. Okay, let me start with this now. So this class is going to extend activity. Inside, I'm going to create a private DB helper. Called MyDB, right? So Actually, I have to create a DB helper activity. No problem. If we have created a class, that is also no problem. We will create a new layout resource file named activity display contacts. Activity display contact. Okay. Here in this one, we have a design part. I think we have, you people have got how to design a layout, right? A simple layout or a basic layout. So I'm not going to explain this one, this layout and designing part. I'll just copy and paste that layout file code, and we'll proceed with programming part. Okay, is that fine?
Yes.
Okay, so I just copy pasted that one, and for this we need to create a string. In strings.xml, we have some values which we need to assign, right? So this is the app name. Don't change the application name, let it be, and just paste all the string names which we are using in this project. Okay, so we have this now. Okay, okay, we will we have written directly on click of this. We can rather than creating a button object in the main activity and calling that button dot set on click listener, we can directly set in this layout file as well. In this layout, just give me a moment, I'm getting a call, let me check. So guys, this is going to take long, again a long time. If we are writing this one, we have just completed the DB part, right? DB part, whatever we have to do for update and delete and insert things. Okay, so let me explain in a quicker way, because the people wanted to wind up in next 10-15 minutes. So I'll just explain the code which I have compiled before. Okay, is that fine? Because I have explained the main part till now, the database part. which is very much important. Next is everything. We are calling these methods, and we are on click of that button. If we call delete contact method, that is going to delete that data, and on click of insert button, that is going to insert our data. Like that, it is there. So shall I do that, guys? Like people are in like the time is not sufficient. Time is already it's 12:30, 35. Can anyone reply? I'll be finishing it off. I'll be explaining what I have done from using this database helper, and I'll explain and I'll run that code so that you will get to know how that looks, application looks. Anyway, you people have all the source code, right? You can copy paste and run the things. Is that fine?
Yes, sir, it should be fine.
Okay. Let me represent my screen. Okay. So till here we have did right this database helper part. Okay. So after this, in we are going to create a display contact activity, and here we have created our layout. Can you see this layout, right? So we are having a name. Everything is edit text, name, phone, state, and these things. And if I click on save contact, it should be saved into our database. So here after as I told before, we are creating objects of every components, and we are defining that with a find view by ID, right? And we are creating a new object of the database helper here. Then we are having we have a bundle extra get intent or to get extras. I'll tell what why we are using this one, and that extra is null means we are getting into this functionality, this logic where int value we are value this value we are setting for the ID of that contact. Then if value is greater than 0 means if we have something in our ID, we are coming in this if condition, and we are getting that value from the database here, and this one we have created an integer variable, and we are putting that value into this integer variable. And we have as we have written this move to first query, so that value is going to move to the top of our list. So here we are setting all the names, right, which we have defined in our database helper clause. We have defined everything: phone number, email, street, and place, everything. Then this cursor is closed means if this cursor is closed means we are just saying this should be closed. This method we are calling to close. That's it. Nothing is there. Then here comes the button. Button 1 is nothing but our save contact. Then we are setting all the values to our fields. So this is our name field. We are setting the value which is coming from here, which is coming from our database helper, right? So this is our database helper. We are storing all these values, name, phone number, and everything. And here we are setting these values here. Name dot set text. We are setting the name, and this is as per your requirement. If you want, you can write, or else no need. And we are setting all those, first for the name and second for the phone number, then email, street and place. Okay. After setting here in this on create method, we have our on create option menu. Okay, in this one we need to give the option, right? Let me show you that layout. You can see here, right? Add new button is there. Again, you can see three dots. This is the menu. So if you click on that menu, what are the list of items you want to show? I am showing only add new. Add new. If you click on this add new, uh, that is going to take you to this not sorry this page. Okay, if you click on that add new, that is going to take you to this page where you can add all the details and click on the save button. Okay, so this is the main menu layout which I'm using. This is just a menu components, nothing is there. I'm just creating this method and passing the menu values. Then I'm calling this one. Then on options item selected. Okay, what this does is you will get a list of values in your layout here in the main layout. So here you'll get the list of values which you have added into the database. If you click on this value, if you click any of the items, uh, let me where it is. Okay, if you click any of the items, that is going to show you in detailed overview of that contact. Okay, that is what I have did here and written. If the case is delete contact, if you have clicked the delete contact, that is going to that is again going to the database helper, and then the method which we have written for the delete query which we have written, so that there it is going to take. You can see here in delete contact, if I click there, it is going to come here in our database helper class, right? So we are calling this method here. Then we are just showing the alert dialog saying that are you sure to delete? Okay, if that is yes, means the data is going to delete. And we have run method. Run, as I said, here you can see here on click of this button, it should call run method, right? If I click here, this is going to take me to this run method. Run means here again, as I said, this is going to take me update contact. Okay, on run method, it is going to update or insert. Okay, if the data is already exists, that is going to update that contact. So I'm calling this method from my database helper clause. Okay, or else if the value is not greater than 0, means the value is not there, id is not there, means we are going to insert that contact, right? So this is what we have done in this clause. And in main clause, as I said, nothing, we are just creating the objects of a list view. Then we are passing the views from these two clauses, from display contacts and from database helper clause. We are showing this one. Okay, so this is the item one. Like this only we will get to the next items into that list. Okay, so let me run this one so that you could understand. Give me a moment. Let me check. Is it running or not? If it is not running, I will be pasting the screenshot of that of this activity in the drive link which I have shared you earlier. Okay. Is that fine? Hello? Hello? Is that fine, guys?
Okay, Madhu.
Okay. So I'll be sharing the code for that EMI calculator, and EMI calculator is a very simple code. You can check that uh, as per the yesterday's and today's understanding. You can be easily able to do that EMI calculator. There is nothing, and the logic is also given in that PDF only. How we need to calculate the equation is given to calculate the EMI amount. So I'll be giving you the source code of that as well. Okay. So it's been already late, I think.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madhu, you are done?
Yes, we are done for now. And I'll be sharing the source code of EMI calculator
Yeah.
to all of them with the same drive link which I have shared.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Shall we proceed for the next event? Like,
Yes,
hello?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So,
Sorry guys, because of the time constraint, I couldn't able to explain the whole thing. But I hope that you all are understood by the experience of yesterday's applications development as well. So you could have do this because I have given the source code as well. So thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Madhu from Digipix Technologies for sparing your time and delivering a session on various Part B programs. So thank you very much once again. And I request few of the participants to please give the feedback on this occasion. I request one or two to voluntarily come up and please give quickly.
Please say whatever it is, and we are going to take it in a positive way for our improvement, so that it will be help in our next sessions as well.
I request one or two to please. If nobody is there, we'll proceed. I request one or two to please give.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
please, madam.
Hello, sir. Myself Rajeshwati from Agri Engineering College, Nagar. So the faculty development program was conducted really well, sir, and it was an opportunity for us to got to know many new things.
Yes.
It was really good experience for all of us. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, madam. Welcome. Anybody else, please? Yeah, Madhu J, please.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anybody else? Yeah. If nobody, we'll go to the next item. Say in this occasion, we have with us Dr. Pushpa Madam, Head of the Department of Information Science and Engineering, and Dr. Manjunath TN, Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering. Now I request Dr. Manjunath sir to please speak few words on this occasion.
Thanks, Professor. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the participants in trusting us in attending this faculty development program, which is the day of the order for all of us in this digital era. Please keep watching our web portal for all the updates. We'll assure you from our end, like all the programs will be recorded. I mean, all the sessions are recorded and we are going to upload into our YouTube channel. And I also requested the Digipix Technologies Praveen in connection Madhu and the other Kiran, resource persons, to again record all the sessions, the day 4 and day 5, and they will give to us. We'll upload it into our YouTube channel. For any clarification, please be in touch with us. So it is collaborative effort to ensure that we reach our student community to make them employable. So I wish you all the best, and thanks for trusting us. Over to Mr. Muthu sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor. May I request our HOD madam to please speak few words on this occasion.
Very good afternoon. I thank all the participants for being a part of this faculty development program. You have successfully completed this 5-day faculty development program. I hope all of you had a very good takeaway from this faculty development program, because we have covered, as per the VTU syllabus, the complete programs have been covered, and all the programs will be recorded and will be shared. So it will be helpful for all the faculty, right? I also thank all the resource persons for making this FDP a successful one. And I also thank the Digipix Technologies for their support and in collaborating with us in smooth conduction of this faculty development program. So I also thank the management, BMSIT trust officials, principal, deans, HODs, and ISC staff, student coordinators, faculty coordinators, and also all the technical staff for their support in smooth conduction of this faculty development program. I thank all the participants for completing this online faculty development program successfully. All the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your kind words. I take this privilege to thank the management officials of BMS Institute of Technology and Management, our beloved principal sir and vice principal sir, and all the deans and head of the departments, and our head of the department, Dr. Pushpa madam, for all the inspiration and motivation rendered to conduct this 5 days FTP. Almost 9 sessions we run, almost more than 2.5 hours per session. And a very special thanks to Dr. Manjunath Tiyan. He is the guiding source. He is the mentor for this complete FTP. Without whose support, definitely we would not have successfully completed this FTP. I once again I thank Dr. Manjunath sir and all the coordinators and all the faculty members of teams ISC and the technical staff, non-teaching staff, and all the other people who directly or indirectly supported and helped this FTP to become a grand success. And my special thanks to all the participants who joined from their remote places for these 9 sessions, and for your patience listening. I thank once again for your keen interest in attending this FTP and making it a grand success. And I on this occasion I just inform you that the certificates will be issued in the next week, and the feedback link has been already shared to your mail ID. I kindly request you to please give the feedback, your valuable feedback. Definitely, it is just for an improvement. So we need to improve in days to come, because always the Department of ISC is in forefront to conduct many such FDPs and student development programs. So I request you to please give valuable feedback that will going to help us a lot. So once again, I thank all the people who supported this FTP for a grand success. And with this few words, I would like to conclude, and we are officially closing the FTP sessions now. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Professor.
Thank you, Narsimurthy, sir.
Good
So I
luck.
would like to say that this complete FDP was being coordinated by Narsimurthy, sir, and led by Dr. Manjunath TN. So I was actually on leave, and everything has been taken care by the ISC team, which is led by Dr. Manjunath TN. Thank you, sir, for all your support and for taking this FDP to a grand success. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thanks to Geeta madam and Suraka madam as well. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
madam. Yes, sir.